Hello, my name is Nikki Patton, and today I will be talking to you about Brenda Vu. Brenda is the director of the Dr. Cheryl T. Chapman Diversity Center at Concordia University in St. Paul, Minnesota. She is a person of Hmong descent herself and has the awesome opportunity to advise the student org Concordia Hmong Unity Student Association, also known as CHUSA. Concordia University is a private four-year institution with a very diverse body. The Twin Cities, St. Paul and Minneapolis, have the largest Hmong population in a metro area in the United States, according to Yang, as per the website NPR News. The combination of all these factors gives a very unique relationship between CHUSA and Brenda. CHUSA started at Concordia as Southeast Asian Student Association, and in 2010, they changed their name to Concordia Hmong Unity Student Association. Brenda told me that CHUSA was created with the intent of providing a space for Southern Asian and Hmong ethnic background students. She then went on to explain that one of their biggest goals is to spread awareness through education for Hmong arts, language, literature, and history. They do this by putting on a number of different types of events and having some other incentives around Concordia. Of course, it's important to measure their goals, and the main way that they measure their goal is by keeping track of how many people attend their programs. They also analyze the different types of topics that they bring up at their general member meetings and ask guiding questions at the end of these meetings to determine how they feel they went. At the end of the semester, they use the program Presence to do a report that evaluates how they feel the semester went as well. Brenda takes a very hands-off approach when working with CHUSA. She knows that her members are very capable. She'll provide feedback when they want it, but otherwise she mostly stands back and looks out for red flags. CHUSA's board is made up of some different positions. They have the president, who oversees all activities and does a lot of delegation. Their vice president also acts as a secretary. The vice president takes notes during meetings, keeps everything in order. The treasurer organizes all of their finances and works closely with Brenda in regards to requesting money. Their historian documents all of the activities that are happening with CHUSA. They take pictures, they make posters, and they keep track of the social media accounts. The historian's job is essentially to create an archive of CHUSA at Concordia. The PR officer works to create a network with outside organizations. These organizations largely consist of Asian student organizations at other universities in the Twin Cities, but they also work with universities like the University of Wisconsin River Falls or the University of Minnesota Duluth. They help the members of Asian descent at all these universities create a community that stretches so much further than their personal institution. They also coordinate with other orgs to avoid scheduling events on the same day, and they encourage the members of each of the institutions to attend each other's events. These 5 positions are nominated and then voted on by active members during the second semester of the school year. CHUSA puts on quite a large number of events throughout the year. Namely, they have a handful of annual ones. Surrounding Hmong New Year, they throw a traditional thank you night. In May, which is Asian Heritage Month, they put on a Hmong Awareness Night. Throughout the year, they also hold a number of membership appreciation nights. For these nights, they pick a topic or a theme, such as food or language, and they explore that with their members. They also host the annual professional panel. For this, they pick a theme, for example, the film industry, or maybe cuisine, and they invite a number of Hmong professionals from that theme specifically to come and share with the Concordia community. At the end of the school year, Brenda takes the CHUSA members on an overnight leadership retreat. During this time, they build community. Of course, they increase their knowledge and do some learning, and then they have fun. Throughout the year, CHUSA sells egg rolls at Concordia. Of course, this is partly a fundraiser, but it's also an opportunity for CHUSA to create some noise surrounding them and to connect with the non-Hmong community at Concordia. Many faculty, staff, students get really excited for the egg roll sales. CHUSA is obviously very active at Concordia, but they also participate with a handful of regional and national organizations that require some funding. One of the organizations that they work with is the Hmong National Development, and they also work closely with the Midwest Asian Pacific Islander Desi American Students Union. For these organizations, they attend annual conferences as well as workshops. CHUSA is able to send students to these events because of the funds that they're able to raise. They raise some of these, of course, through egg roll sales, but they also seek funds from the university as well. Every year, they write a proposal to request funds. This proposal usually includes a summary of the previous year of some sort, so they might talk about the events that they put on, the attendance, as well as how they've met their goals. CHUSA is able to earn up to $700 this way, but they can also request additional funding through the Student Senate as well. As with every student organization, Brenda has found that she does face a handful of legal and ethical issues throughout the year. The biggest ones that she finds she has to encounter are FERPA and Title IX. For a while, Brenda was considered a mandated reporter on Concordia's campus, although she is not anymore. While she was a mandated reporter, she found that she often had to start off her conversations with students by prefacing that she might need to report any qualifying information. This was hard for Brenda because she knew that these students trusted her and that they probably didn't understand why she would need to report something when they were coming to her for help. She also felt like there was oftentimes a little bit of a blurred line between her position as a friend and her position as a staff member due to her younger age when she started at Concordia. Brenda had to be very clear with students that she was not a peer and that she could not act as one. Aside from Title IX, Brenda has also had to think about FERPA. Hmong culture is very familial. Children oftentimes stay living with their family until they get married. So this means that a lot of the CHUSA members actually still live with their parents. Because of this, parents feel like they play a really big role in terms of guidance and permission. So Brenda has had to work with parents in a lot of ways, and because of that, she's had to become very familiar with FERPA and the guidelines under it. Because she does come from a Hmong background, she can understand that feeling and understand how those parents are feeling. So whether it's, her not wanting to share a GPA, or maybe a student wants to attend an overnight leadership retreat, FERPA does protect this information. And so Brenda has had to explain to parents that she needs a student's permission in order to discuss this information with the parent. She has found that she has had to play a little bit of an educational role with the parents as well in terms of helping them understand laws that are at play right now in higher education. Brenda absolutely adores working with CHUSA. And when I interviewed her, she told me that her philosophy in her work surrounds the idea of holistically advising her students. When she works with these students, she sees them as a whole individual. They aren't just a student, they aren't just a daughter, they aren't just a violin player. She sees all these aspects and she understands how they work together. She encourages these students to come to her with any concerns that she has because she wants to be able to support them in all of that. The second aspect of her advising philosophy, or rather I should say the final aspect, is the fact that she wants to bring all students together, students who might not necessarily be in the same friend groups. She wants them to come together surrounding the Hmong culture and really uplift it and come to really respect it. I look at Brenda's student advising philosophy and I'm really impressed with it, and I'm very much driven to want to be more like that. I've learned throughout this course that students really need to be empowered. They should be encouraged to advocate for themselves. They should learn how to stand firm ethically, and the best way for me to do that is through my actions as well. In addition, being a part of a really great extracurricular experience can really impact students. My personal philosophy is to help students gain skills and abilities for their future, such as leadership, communication, by actively playing to their strengths and helping them to work on their weaknesses in order to help them grow into who God has made them. I really hope that my personal philosophy will be as visible in my work in student affairs as Brenda's philosophy is in her work in student advising.